The movie starts from a small city in America. We see a girl, Judy, who was a doctor. And there was her nurse with her. One day there is a baseball match. The nurse also wants to go watch the match so that she can meet her friend, who was a player playing the match. Judy listens to her and gives her a quick leave. On the other side, we see Judy's husband David, who is also the sheriff of the whole city. He also comes to watch this match with his wife. First, everything seems normal. They were talking and praising the nurse's friend. But suddenly something happens that stops the game. An old man enters the ground and starts walking towards the pitch. He has a gun in his hand. The man seemed very strange. David quickly empties the pitch before the old man reaches there so that he can see what the man wants to do. David thinks that the man is drunk and he tells him to put the gun down. But the man was not ready to listen to him. The man then puts the gun on David. David feels threatened by him, so he shoots the man and kills him. Then David meets the man's doctor so that he can find out how much alcohol was in the old man's blood. Then he meets the man's family and regrets his death. Then he says that he was drunk, so I could not do anything but kill him. The man's wife is not ready to listen to David, and she says that she had stopped drinking a long time ago. And she was very happy with this, that she started crying, and in anger she slaps the sheriff. Now David does not sleep all night after this incident, so early in the morning he keeps working to keep himself busy. Judy convinces him that he did not do anything wrong and you should not regret it. If he had not done this, then maybe that man would have killed everyone. Then David goes to the office where he gets a call from the medical agency, and the doctor says that there was not even 1% alcohol in his blood. Although the tests have been done twice. David is very surprised to hear this and thinks why that man was behaving like this, and he is desperate to know the truth. So he goes back to the pitch where he killed that old man. There he sees the school principal, who was sitting quietly and thinking something. To bring him to his senses, David has to call his name many times because he wanted to talk to the principal. On the other hand, we see that another strange case comes in the hospital, which is handled by Judy. This was the case of a man named Bill who was brought to check by his wife. The man says to Judy that I don't know why my wife is so worried. Nothing happened to her, just a little tired. Judy asks him one more question, but instead of answering that question, he repeats the same thing, that my wife is so worried, nothing happened to me. Now we are shown Bill's house and we see that his wife's worries were true because that night he was behaving like a madman. Now when his wife comes out, she sees that Bill has his tractor machine on. She goes to find Bill, but then she hears her son's voice, who is calling her mother. So she again runs inside the house. She goes upstairs and starts looking for her son, who finally meets him. But his son points to him to stay quiet because Bill had a knife. His mother takes her son and hides in the closet, but she is more scared when she feels that Bill is coming to her because she heard the sound of climbing the stairs. Then unfortunately, Bill sees her hiding in the room and closes the door from the outside. He puts petrol all over the house and sets it on fire, which burns his wife and son alive. At the same time, Judy and David also arrived. They see the house burning and ask people there, who found out that Bill was cutting the grass and the house was on fire. Judy and David go to Bill and ask him about it, but he doesn't answer. He just starts whistling, which was a crazy thing, and seeing him doing this, Judy gets very angry. But these strange things don't end here, because when some people were hunting in a river, they find a dead body from a Japanese, which was the body of a pilot. Now David and the deputies sit in the boat with their companions and go to investigate this place and the body. They find a plane in the boat which was destroyed in the river some distance from their city. Then we see that they are being watched by a drone, and it was written there that a strange virus has spread all over the city, due to which people are getting infected and their behavior becomes worse. Now David tries to find out from where water is supplied to the whole city, which is used by the people of the city. David also tries to find out how that plane was destroyed in the river. He finds something wrong in this plane because he has never heard of any such news in which a plane was said to have been destroyed in a river. But after hearing this, his suspicion increases when he finds out that water is supplied to the whole city from this river. Moreover, the water of the river is supplied through a pipeline to the city, so the first house in the city that gets water was that of the bad man who was killed by David. And Bill's house also comes in the same line, whose actions had become like crazy. Knowing all this, David went to the mayor and asked him to stop the water supply. He also tells that there is a reason behind this because a plane crashed in that water, after which in the water of the river I don't know what happened, that people's behavior is changing strangely because they were still unaware of that virus. But the mayor says that in this way the crops will be destroyed and the city will be ruined. He refuses to say sorry to David for this, but I can't stop the water supply. Now David was worried about the situation, so to deal with this problem he finds another solution to it. He goes against the law and shuts down that water supply himself. He also removes the wall of that river so that no one can use that water supply again. Then David came back to the police station. He and the deputy see that Bill is lying on the ground. His blood is flowing and he is not moving at all. They think that Bill may have died, but as soon as he came close to his cell, Bill suddenly gets up and tries to attack them. With this we can understand that Bill was also infected with that virus. When his behavior was like this, he was out of control. Look, David tries to call, but his call did not come. It turns out that neither the internet is working nor the network is coming. When he goes out, he sees that the whole city is deserted and there is no one anywhere. A man was sitting in the car and taking pictures of him. David sees him and runs after him, but by then the car had left. Now David goes to the medical lab to meet the doctor so that he can get more information about the corpse of the old man. Here he sees an injured man who was in very bad condition. David tries to help him, but the doctor comes from behind, who had gone crazy due to being infected, and attacks David. He tries to tear David from the gutter and kill him. So with great difficulty David stopped him. He then attacks the doctor outside to save his life and kills him. In which the deputy also supports him. David goes home and convinces Judy to leave the city and go to her parents' house. Judy does not agree with this because David was not leaving this city. Then Judy sees someone outside who suddenly disappeared. So David comes out and goes to check in the warehouse. But then an army group comes and arrests both of them. They bring them in a bus where the deputy was also there and tells that these soldiers have kidnapped me too. And those soldiers take them to the army camp, which was a school. But the army had made this whole place their camp. Here the soldiers and doctors had set up different tents because blood, temperature and radiation were being checked in all the people's bodies. Now those who had a high temperature are forcibly separated from those whose body temperature was low. Here unfortunately, Judy's body temperature is a little high and the soldiers separate her from David and take her away. David fights the soldiers, but they also kill him and make him conscious. Then the soldiers take Judy to a medical room where she is kept with those who were considered sick. Judy tries to tell the doctors that her body temperature is high because she has been suffering from fever for a few days. When David regains consciousness, he finds himself in a place where people are given bracelets to remind him of their identity. Because David and his kind of normal people are being sent to another city. Because these people are completely normal and not sick. But David was not going to leave his wife, for whom he makes a plan to escape from here. On the other hand, a car breaks the fences of Judy's camp and enters inside. Because of which the whole camp is disturbed. The soldiers and doctors are not able to control the situation and run away from here. Some camps are empty. Because of which the sick people, including Judy, they stay in the same room. Now David comes to the police station to save Judy and picks up his gun. He is not alone in this mission, but the deputy is also with him to save Judy. Judy is still tied to the bed and she looks at the nurse with her on the bed next to her. Both ask about each other, and they see that the principal of the school is coming towards their room and he also has a weapon in his hand. Bill was completely infected and he starts killing everyone mercilessly. Judy and the nurse are very scared to see this. Now Bill came to the nurse and he is about to kill her, that Judy starts screaming loudly and pays attention to Bill. Now Bill is about to die, that David and the deputy come there at the right time and they shoot Bill and in this way save the lives of both the girls. Now they all come out of there and go out to find a safe place for themselves. They are passing through the house of the nurse's friend. The nurse says that she wants to meet her friend so that she can see if she is okay or not. When they go to their friend's house, her friend is absolutely fine and says that my mom is also absolutely fine. Meanwhile, some soldiers surround this place from all sides and a soldier starts searching the house of the nurse's friend. They all hide in the field. Now the soldiers find her mother and start testing her blood. Seeing this, the nurse's friend runs away to save his mother. Now the soldiers shoot them both and set their corpses on fire and burn them. See, they all got very scared because the soldiers were ordered to kill all those who are not soldiers but are made and also those who are infected. Now the next day, David takes them all to his house which he had made for his child. The nurse and the deputy try to fix the car while Jody and David go inside the house. David collects the necessary things from the house. Jody goes to her child's room where the wife of the old man was standing behind who was completely infected. Now when David comes to the room, he sees that Jody is tied up. Then suddenly the wife of the old man attacks David because she had gone completely mad. The wife of the old man turns the knife on the table in David's hand and threatens him by showing him the gun. When David saw that she would kill my wife, he courageously confronts her and finally kills her. In all this, the deputy also helps him. Now Jody feels that the deputy is also infected with the virus because his behavior was getting more and more angry. But David still refuses to believe this. Now they are going in all 4 cars, the which nurse knows which made the deputy feel that she is also infected with the virus. Now everyone started fighting each other, but David tells him to end the fight because a helicopter was hovering over him to attack him and now he has to find a place to hide. Now David changes the way of his car and goes to a car wash where cars are washed. But here too he has to face more difficulties. He was waiting for the helicopter to go, but someone drives the car wash and his car goes ahead from where it was very difficult to get out. Meanwhile, some people working there come in front who were infected and attack them. But somehow they manage to kill them and David takes the car out of the car wash. But one of them attacks the nurse. He puts a pipe in her neck and attaches it in the air, because of which she is killed. Now the other 3 people come out to see the nurse, but then the helicopter destroys David's car. Now the 3 of them don't have a car, so they start walking. Now they see a car coming there. Here too the deputy started showing his angry behavior without thinking and puts a knock the trap on the road and causes the car to crash, which turned the car. There was an agent in the car who survived and the deputy tries to kill him, but David stops him because he wants to talk to the man. David asks the man what's going on. The man says that the plane that was destroyed in the river had high-tech and chemical weapons which were being taken to another city. But the plane was destroyed in the river, which ruined the water of the whole city, because of which the infection spread so much. People who get sick in this epidemic, their behavior is strange. They become mentally mad with anger because the effect of the virus is on the human mind. That's why those people start doing reverse things whenever the name of this movie is The Crisis. Now suddenly the deputy kills that man. David thinks that the deputy has also become infected. Now silently David picks up his gun, but before that the deputy has also obtained the gun again and has also taken control of all the weapons, and now he takes both of them at gunpoint. Now after walking for a while, David tries to relax the deputy and cleverly takes the gun back from him. Here the deputy also understands that he is sick, but he tells David that can he stay with him for a while, for which both agreed. After this, the 3 of them reach a road which was going towards the bus stop from where they could get a truck. And David makes a plan to run, but the soldiers had blocked that road. The deputy says that he will help them in running. He will take care of the soldiers so that you two can take the truck and run from here, because he is going to die in a while anyway. That's why he took the gun and started moving forward to take care of the soldiers, and the 2 start hiding. Finally, the soldiers also shoot him and he starts badmouthing the soldiers for what they did. Now David and Judy reach a place where they find 3 trucks which were to remove those people who were not infected, who were wearing bracelets in their hands, but they were also killed and their corpses were kept in these trucks, which now David and Judy understand that the soldiers want to kill everyone who are infected and not everyone. And now they realize that it won't be easy to get out of this city. Now David gets a radiophone of a soldier in which he hears the conversations of the soldiers which they were doing to each other. It was being told that something is going to happen in 10 minutes, and after saying this, 10 minutes are set and the countdown begins. The 2 of them get ready to leave, but a lot of infected people come here who try to attack them, but both of them fight them and defeat them. Judy shoots one of them while David sets the other one on fire and burns him. Then both of them sit in the truck and leave, but then they hear a 35-second countdown on the radio which was about to be completed in 10 minutes. As soon as 10 minutes were completed, the silence spread. Now we see a bright light spreading in the city, with which there is a powerful explosion and everything is destroyed. With the force of the explosion, Their truck also turns, but fortunately both of them survived, and now they come out of the truck and walk ahead. They also realize that the whole city has been destroyed by the explosion, which was done by the army, so that the infection is eradicated from this city. After a long journey, David and Judy reach a new city where we see that once again they're being watched by a drone. This movie story ends here.